Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ordinary here, bringing you episode 5 of the GM Mode series here in Columbus. Last episode was a big one. I had to split it into two, and we got halfway through the season, so we're at 41 out of 82 games here in year one. Deep in last place in the division. I haven't checked the conference, but I imagine we got to be close to the bottom there as well. Eastern Conference. At the bottom is the Columbus Blue Jackets. We even have more games played than most teams. So Columbus and Florida both sucking butt here in year one. If we go to the entire league, where are we? We are almost in last. Vancouver's a little bit below us, 5 points below us, so we've got a shot at this lottery pick here. What I was reading is you guys said we should basically tank this year's shot. What I do want to do, though, is not really get rid of too much of what we got, because although we have had a garbage season, if you look at our lines, everything's pretty decent. I mean, if you look at everything, like, we got a pretty good team. So the fact that we're just losing a bunch of games, maybe chalk it up to the player types, but I'm not overly sure. I mean, we don't have any snipers in our top six. There's some things that we could make changes to, but there's not a lot we can do. I mean, I don't want to, like, make trades for the sake of making trades, right? I want to get better for the future. Like, maybe if we trade one of our top six for, like, exact same player-only sniper player type rather than playmaker. The whole first line's two-way forward, so it's probably not helping. So if we get a sniper on that first line and replace one of these guys, that might work. But in order to do that, we need to get up to the trade deadline anyways, so we'll sim straight up to that. Don't want to waste too much time. There it is, the 1st of March. Coming up here in real life, too. Not too far away. Okay with not editing the trade block. Let's just get going. Jesus Christ, our team is so bad. Like, it's unbelievable. Look at these stats. One of those best lines at... These lines are this, like, record is actually unreal. Big win. Come on. Watch us just fucking win out the year now. Yeah, there it is. 3-1. Big. Now I just kind of want to lose all the games so we can have the worst record. Tank it up. And we don't need these sporadic wins. Let's just lose. There we go. Let's go to player morale. Calvert is disgruntled. Anyone else? Just Calvert. Maybe we'll dress him. Big win against Edmonton. Big win against Vancouver. 1-0 in the shootout. Oh, here's a little winning streak for the guys. Garbage. Can you believe it? Better not be Matt Calvert telling me he wants to play. I understand you want to play. But we're winning. We're winning. What can I do? We're winning. A little 4-game streak going. Oh, there we go. Here. I hit B. Okay. Edit lines. Bork. Scratch for Calvert. There you go, Calvert. You're in until someone gets hurt and actually best lines again. Calendar. Here we go. Up to the trade deadline. Yeah, I hit A. There we go. I can't believe that we're having good luck now. Like, can't we just lose out the rest of the year? What do we want to scout here? Maybe some defensemen. Does it say what I've scouted so far? Because I can't remember. Another big win. February's been our month. Oh, there's a loss. What have we lost 3 games this whole month? We were lucky to fucking lose 3 games a week before. So we've slummed it up to the trade deadline. Let's get this last game simmed. Alright, so 25, 35, and 4. I imagine that record has taken us out of the gutter, but we're still got to be in the basement. We'll take a quick look, but I imagine we're not second last anymore. Third last. Where's our point percentage? We'll sort it by this. It's better. Okay, still second last. So I guess every team's kind of been turning it on. 64 games played. We only have 18 games left with whoever we trade for here. Stats Central. I should go back and take a look at our individual stats. Looks like Berglund's fallen off of that top spot. Ooh, big time. Lateria passed him. Well, I'm still happy with that trade. That's our second line. Like, that's our first line, second line. Like, it's looking pretty good. Oh, that's because it swapped Atkinson onto the second line, but Berglund on the third. That's what it was. Okay, so who's not getting it done? Savard, but we gotta hold on to you for at least a year. Jenner, we gotta hold on to you because you're like our last left wing prospect. I've been shipping them all out. Wenberg, I want to see what happens with you. Cassian, we just got. Clefbaum, same story. Murray, Bork, we can't trade because his contract's bad. Jones, we gotta hold on to. Carlson doesn't have any value. Clarkson, we can't trade. Prout, we could trade, but he's not gonna have much value. Calvert, in his 21 games, has been not bad, actually. And then Lindbaum, who's been sitting since we picked up Clefbaum, didn't have the best start. So no one is doing well. Who was that there? I just saw. Thought I saw a 0 that wasn't Calvert, but maybe I'm just going crazy. Oh, it's just the -1 Foligno. So Foligno, let's hold on to Foligno. Seems to be one of our better players. Saad obviously has the most points on the team, and Dubinsky is our top center. So if we want to flop any of these guys, I'm not sure who. Because Saad's the points guy. Dubinsky, you're not really going to find a sniper centerman. And Foligno, he is probably actually the points guy because he's got 10 less games, right? So, and he's only a -1. So let's hold on to Foligno for sure. Let's hold on to Saad because he's going to get better. So if anyone's going to go, I feel like it would be Dubinsky, 29 years old, 87 overall. If we could find a similar player, just with a different player type, like a sniper, that would be killer. Hartnell, I mean, I like Hartnell. 85 overall is like perfect for a second line. But I don't know. I think he got moved to third line because doesn't it put Berglund on second line left winger and bring Atkinson up and move Hartnell down to the third? I think is what happens. So he's not going to be doing much for us on the third line, taking a lot of penalty minutes. That could be a player we look at trading too. So Dubinsky, Hartnell, every single one of our D-men we basically have to hold on to, except for Prout, but doesn't exactly have any value to begin with. Atkinson we want to hold on to because he might get that jump at the end of the year. If not, he can be one to go as well, even though he's our only sniper. But he hasn't exactly been sniping, so wouldn't be the worst thing to get rid of him. if we had to. And then in net, of course, we got Bobrovsky and McElhenney. I imagine none of these guys have that good numbers. 906 isn't bad for being on the worst team. 878 is garbage, but no one's expecting anything else. So let's take a look at the trading players and see what value some of these guys have on our team. Dubinsky. Where's Scotty Farts Mountain? There he is. And apparently Atkinson doesn't have much value. So all these guys have decent contracts on them too, which will free up some space for us. Dubinsky's the one with the value, if anyone has value. What we'd be looking for is a centerman who's a sniper who's like 24. So that's a real slim window to find someone. Settle for a playmaker, but we kind of want him around 24 because that's going to be our first line center moving forward, right? Like Laterra we got to bring in for a second line, so if we do want to replace our first line center, it's going to have to be either an 89 already or like a 86 but 24 years old, so or 85. Somewhere like that. So we'll take all these guys off and we'll just take a look because they got rid of that searching for some reason, which was so good on last gen. You could punch in your criteria and it would spit out all the players that matched. That was the best. These days, not so much. So centerman, what do we got? Rickard. Rickard's red. 22. He's a playmaker only though, so maybe not. This is going to be boring for you guys, so what I'm going to do is I'll hop back when I find something that matches. Alright guys, we're back. So, I went through the entire league. There are exactly 2 players that match what we're looking for. One of them is here in Washington, and that's Evgeny Kuznetsov. But look at that trade value. That's pretty ridiculous. It's going to be hard to get. He's 23 years old, and he's got that high potential, so if fucking right stick would work... Christ almighty, right stick? Or is that, do you have to go in and then do it? Can you not do it from that screen? Who knows? Okay, so he's got high potential, right? So that's really shooting it up. And he's 23, so he's got a couple years to get better. So he could become a real good player. He's already 87. He's got 3 years left to jump. You can see him getting up to the 90s, right? But that's why his value's so high. I mean, we don't even know if these guys want what we have to offer. Oh, they want Dubinsky. So if this goes through, I mean, it's an upgrade, right? And because it's basically all for Kuznetsov. So it's Dubinsky and Hartnell for Kuznetsov, and we got some guys to come back. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? I don't even think it would go through anyways. We'll try it, but I'm pretty sure it won't go through. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is take a look at this other trade. And I think, what could it be? It's a little easier to make happen. It is for the only other center sniper I found, Thomas Hertl. And he's got a little bit less trade value because he just has that medium potential rather than the high. And he's 3 overall lower with a year extra for that progression, right? So, easier trade to get going. They don't really want what we're offering. They can only take 1 player back. We could do this 1-for-1. I imagine that would go through, or at least be close to going through, considering they don't want Dubinsky for some reason. I think they're trying to get younger, right? So, what they might want, actually, is Atkinson. Considering he's still... Oh, no, they don't want him either. Well, what do we think? Do we want to try to make this go through? Grab Hertl. What's his stats this year? He's sitting on 35 points, and I imagine he's playing, what, third line? Beneath Thornton and, what's his cock? tour. So 35 points on a third line, that's a definite upgrade. I think Dubinsky's sitting barely on 35 points on our first line. So that might be worth it. They must be having a bad year. Let's see. We can tell if their draft picks have high value. Yeah, I don't think they're doing too well. They don't have a first this year. That's over in Boston. So, should we try this? It's a good... we'll have to pay him coming up. We'll try it. I think that would be a good trade for us. How many times do I have to press this fucking button? 4 times? There we go. So, Dubinsky for Hertl, straight up, straight across. Hopefully, that wasn't a bad trade. Dubinsky was at 87. Hertl's at 84 with 3 years to go. So, we should be all right. That should be a good trade. It's definitely going to make us better in the future, which is what we need because I don't see us going anywhere quickly. Before we wrap up the video with just one trade, let's see if we can't unload some of these other players, make a good trade. Hartnell, we could free up some decent amount of cap here with these 2 trades. So Hartnell, what do we think about Atkinson? Let's take a look at his his stats, not his goal scoring, but these ones here. I want to see his defense. He's got decent defensive awareness at 85. What's his minus this year? Minus 11? He's basically topped out at 83, to be fair. He might get another jump, because I think he was 25 and he just had his birthday. So he might get that next jump, but even if he does, what's he going to jump to? 84, 85 tops? We'll throw him in. What would we be looking for coming back? A right wing sniper? Second line prospect? Something like that. So what do we have right now? We got Borkstrand. I guess we have our first line prospect right there. So that's not really necessary. We got Foligno. So on the left wing, where we had a bunch of prospects before, we still have Milano and Jenner and Sod. So we're still fine on that front. Wouldn't mind getting a playmaker. And then for centerman, I think Hertl's our best centerman prospect now. So maybe we try to grab another center prospect. We have Wenberg at 82, and what is he, 21? Yeah, he's 21 playmaker, so it's not even that necessary. On the point, what do we got? We got a couple of good prospects here. Johnson isn't a prospect. Jones, Murray, Savard, Clefbaum, all these guys can get up there, right? So I don't know if we really need that. They say Prout can jump to top 4, but no. We'll throw him in there. So we'd be looking at grabbing, I don't know. I guess it's whatever people have on the block that could make an easy trade. Is any team trading away their prospects? Tommy Vanelli is not who this is. Yep. Offensive defenseman. High potential. They want to get rid of him. How old is he? 21, so nah, it's kind of far away. Looks like Tampa wants to trade away some prospects as well. Another defenseman who's still a ways away. So maybe not there either. They got some good players that they want to trade away. Braden Point, Dennis Yan, Adam Ernie. They got some good prospects. I don't know if we'd really be able to yank any of them with what we're offering though. Nothing there in Toronto. Van's not going to be offering prospects. Alright guys, we're back. And I was thinking about it. And Prout is our current defensive defenseman that we were kind of lining up to play either that third pairing or that second pairing. And it's just if he's going to be going the other way, then it wouldn't even be a bad idea to grab a guy like Pelech back, who's that defensive defenseman that was on the Islanders there. 21 years old, 74 overall. Like, he's got the high potential, so hopefully that means he's going to get some big jumps. Obviously, in order to make this go through, we'd have to pull someone else back, which isn't the end of the world considering they do want 2 of our players, right? So, as long as we grab red names, this trade should go through no problem. We just have to grab one of these lower guys down here. They just want to get rid of defensemen only, eh? How about this two-way defenseman, 19 years old, medium potential? Take a chance. And then, yeah, they're topped out on contracts. So, what about a goalie? Do they have any goalies matching the block? They do. AHL starter, 69, 22 years old. Grab that. Columbus would have too many goalies. Well, can I just get rid of one? Because they all suck. Like, I'm not interested in any of these goalies. Corpusalo. Like, you can go. I guess your Forsberg would be the one that makes more sense. Yeah, so we can throw Forsberg in there. And then we have to pull a player back again. It kind of seems like putting players in just for the sake of putting players in, but if it works, it works. Out of these two, I'll go for the guy who's 6 points up. They'd be over the salary cap, eh? No, they wouldn't. What are you talking about? They'd be over the salary cap. They absolutely wouldn't be. Although I guess. Okay, so if we'll take Atkinson off, take Forsberg off. We really only want Pelech, so we can take these two off. The trade value is just not there anymore. Atkinson was helping out. Not gonna lie. We'll propose a trade. It is green names for red names, so they might give us some leeway, but we'll see. Value. Yeah. That makes sense. I can agree with that for once. For some reason, they don't want our picks. Goalies matching block, none. We don't really have anything to trade them in that regard. Skaters matching block. Who else could we part with here? No. I mean, yes. Nothing really, eh? They don't want much that we're selling. If we do throw Atkinson in, that brings it basically even. Now, I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know if even is necessarily good enough. I wonder if they got someone just with a garbage contract that we could pull back. Not really. So their worst contract is like Matt Martin. So they don't even have someone with super low value we can throw in. Huh, that sucks. Because that's kind of a player to target if we're going to be moving Prout. Shit. Okay. That throws a wrench in it. But I think grabbing a defensive defenseman back makes sense. It just sucks that no one's really wanting to get one up. Who's got someone that's going to make a splash on the squad? I know it's not Pittsburgh. I already looked. I know it's not these guys that looked as well. St. Louis had Vanelli. Offensive defenseman. Doesn't make sense. Tampa had D'Angelo, offensive defenseman. Who's Spencer? Defensive defenseman right there. So, we'll throw Spencer in. think that's like too little of value, right? So they'd have more than 45 skaters. What if we yank Atkinson? Still too many, but that value is basically a match. So if we just grab a low trade value player on their block, $68 at 21 years old. They're giving up on this guy early. Darcy. Two-way forward. Not a bad idea there. Also got 69 at 21 years old, but he's got some value to him, so we'll throw this Darcy fella in. How does this make sense? Is Spencer not signed? Ah, okay. Spencer's not signed. So they... No... Oh, it's... Okay, okay. So it's the goalie contract that they're sitting on. Can't really afford to take anyone else back. Who's your worst signed player? Walcott. So that would go through, but I doubt it will now that we're asking for so many guys. But we'll give it a go. Trade rejected, of course. We can take Darcy. No. Okay, so what we'll do, drop Walcott, drop Prout. Surprised they don't want Atkinson. Apparently nobody does. But that would go... we have to pull one more back still, right? Fuck, this is hard. Trading is hard in this game, especially in the early years when no one's let any free agents go and everyone's sitting at the max contract cap. They want our Forsberg guy. We can trade them an extra goalie. So maybe this will go through. The names are red and green. The bars are about equal. It should go through. It did. Beauty. We'll best roster it for now. And then the last thing we have to do is we'll move Prout because we just got his replacement, right? Actually, you know what? Let's hold on to Prout now. We'll hold on to Prout. We'll hold on to Atkinson. We'll see what happens because they could possibly jump, right? Chances are they won't, but they could. So we'll see if that happens, and we'll finish. We'll get up to the playoffs here. Granted, we're not going to make the playoffs, but we'll get up to them. See who did. Do a year-end wrap-up real quick. I might end up doing heavy editing on those trades just so the episode's not long and boring. Oh, watch us make the playoffs. We're going to win so hard. 2 for 3 here. Ooh, waiver claim. How come it doesn't show his age in that chunk on the right? That information? It's the first thing it should show. No, we don't need a bad player. You've got plenty of those. Oh, look at us. 3-game winning. Oh, okay. I bet you that's because Scott Hartnell got like a Hattie for Tampa there. Hope Tampa wins the cup. Because we're definitely not. Oh, look at this record all of a sudden. These last 2 months, February, March, we have been killing it. Go to player morale. We'll meet with these guys. We'll meet with them. We'll meet with one of them. I don't give a shit. Get out of here. That should be an option. I don't give a shit. I can't believe our record. Like, if we play ourselves out of a really, really good draft spot, I'm going to be choked. Now, I wish it told us who we've already scouted. Defenseman or offenseman. Forwards. Offenseman. Well, best lines it. Sorry, Calvert. I guess that means you're sitting. But it's just the last 5 games of the year here, so you'll get over it. There we go. Losing back out. That's how we want to end the season. 4 solid L's in a row. Go to player morale. Calvert's going to be like, why are you sitting me? McElhenney disgruntled. Yeah, don't be the problem. You suck. Negative effect, I don't give a shit. Boone Jenner, that's okay. You're like 22. You should be able to type in your own answers. That would be sick. Ooh, I was about to hold a team meeting. Too late. Oh, what a loss! Toronto just fucking dick slapped us. There we go. So a solid 7 L's in a row to end the season. Year 1 in Columbus comes to a close with a record of 32, 46, and 4. 50 losses on the year. Oh, it's beautiful. We are definitely going to be last in our division. I imagine we're last in the league, even though we did have 2 winning streaks. Has everyone played their 82 games? It would appear so. We will reverse points this. And no, we are third. We ended up third last. So we do have a chance at that lottery pick. I wonder if they're doing it properly, because they are doing the top 3 picks all lotteried this year in real life. But I imagine in this game they are not doing that because they haven't been paying attention. So that being said, we have a decent chance at the first overall pick. Otherwise, we're probably sitting at third. We could move down to fourth, but that is unlikely. Brendan Saad ended up leading the team in points, seeing as we traded away our other points leader in Dubinsky. Laterra and Berglund are 2 big pickups. He's playing down to an 81 right now. The whole team is just playing like garbage. Oh well. That's not good. I should have been paying attention to what the lines were instead of going best lines, but you know what? What are you going to do? The locker room chemistry is at an all-time low. That's what happens when you just sim the rest of the season. Where's morale? I want to do morale. There we go. Player morale. Can I hold a team meeting? I cannot hold a team meeting. Okay. What I can do, however, is manage our rosters, edit our lines. Berglund needs to be here so he's not getting fucking bitter. Move Jenner up. Alright. So, let's take a look at what the playoff... Oh, shit. The playoff matchups are going to be... Stat Central's there, playoffs tree, or do I have to fucking do that myself? I have to do that myself. Okay. So, here are your playoff matchups this year. In the Metropolitan Division, Pittsburgh Penguins are playing the New York Islanders. Carolina has 90 points. In the Atlantic Division, Detroit is playing Montreal. Tampa is playing Carolina. And Washington is playing the Boston Bruins. So, that's in the East. Tampa, after picking up Scott Hartnell, took the Eastern Conference. And over in the West, we've got Colorado. They're going to be playing the Calgary Flames, it looks like. Yes. Or am I going crazy? Is there 4 and 4? Or is it 3 and 5? It's 3 and 5, so they're not going to be playing the Calgary Flames. They are going to be playing... Colorado Avalanche are going to be playing the St. Louis Blues. The Nashville Predators are going to be playing the Chicago Blackhawks. And the Minnesota Wild are going to be playing the Edmonton Oilers. Sharks and Flames are that last matchup there. So, looks like a bit of a weaker East, aside from Colorado looks to be crushing it, and Nashville had a pretty good year too. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoy the video, press like on it. If you have any ideas for what we need to do here coming up in this draft and the offseason next video, let me know in the comments. Be sure to reply to them and take them into consideration. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.